I want to ask a question. Why do we travel? Is it because we have been taught, or I won't say indoctrinated, but conditioned to believe that traveling is actually enjoyable? Now, I went to see a friend of mine today, somebody I went to school with. So you can imagine, this is over 50, 60 years ago. She came over from Nigeria and she wanted to meet me. So I thought, Myrna, make an effort and go and see her. She lives in Mill Hill, or she's staying in Mill Hill while she's here. So I checked the turntable or the train timetable, and it said I could get, if as long as I could get to Luton, it was one train. So I thought, oh, that's easy enough. So I got to Luton, and the train that was supposed to take me to Mill Hill Broadway was cancelled. Not only was it cancelled, the one after that was cancelled. The one after that was cancelled. The one after that said it was going to Mill Hill Broadway. I got on it. It said it was only going to St Albans. I got on the one to St Albans, and they said the next train coming up is going to Mill Hill Broadway. I got on the one to Mill Hill Broadway. The one, when I got on it, it changed. Oh, due to delays, we're going straight to St Pancras. The next stop is Radlett. I get off at Radlett, and I waited and waited for a train to Mill Hill Broadway. I tried to call my friend to tell her that I was just going back home, but I couldn't get hold of her. So I decided to wait, and in the end, the train to Mill Hill Broadway showed up. Now, considering I left my home at 9:45, and it should have literally been a 26-minute journey. I got there at 20 past, was it 20 past 1 or? No, I got there actually at 20 past 11. Yeah, it just seemed longer than that. Yeah, so I got there at 20 past 11. I was supposed to meet her at 10 past, and considering all the delays, but it's because I started out early thinking I could spend more time with her. My point is that it just drained my energy, just trying to get to a place that you've paid for and you just cannot get to because of delays. And okay, I can understand one train being cancelled, but four trains cancelled, none of them going to Mill Hill Broadway, all going straight to St Pancras. So really, they're just catering for people who are travelling or trying to make connections, maybe to the Eurostar or something. They don't care about local travellers. So anyway, it kind of dampened my mood once I met her. I mean, I greeted her okay, but I just thought, let's just sit down, and it's so hot, so let's just sit down somewhere and get something to eat. Found a little Greek restaurant on the high road. I thought, this is nice because she hasn't been here for a while. Let's treat her to something nice. And then just had a meal. I had some lamb chops and she had some sea bream. Bill came up to £88. And you had to pay for potatoes extra, chips were extra, salad was extra. And then, didn't have no strong drinks, no wine or anything, just I had apple juice and she had cranberry juice. But then they bought the cranberry juice with ice. And she goes, oh, I forgot, I can't have ice. I can't have anything cold because I've got a cold. I said, what do you mean? She said, oh, well, when you've got a cold, you can't have anything cold. I said, isn't that superstitious? She said, no. She said, that's the way it is. Anyway, she took it. I said, I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's psychological. Anyway, she took a sip of the cranberry juice and she started spluttering and coughing all over the place. So she couldn't drink it, in other words. So she had some tea. But my point is that Okay, I just wanted to get home after that because I'm thinking, how long is it going to take for me to get home? So I checked the timetable. The next train, I stayed with her until about 1:30. The next train was 20 to 2. So I thought, oh, let me try and get that just in case. Same thing, go up to this train station, that train's been cancelled. The one after that's been cancelled. Then I get a train. In the end, I got a train to St Albans by crossing over the bridge. Cross over the bridge and got a train to St Albans. Then from St Albans, waiting for a train to bring me to Luton. It was such a bloody nightmare. About 3 trains came and none of them were going to Luton. They were all stopping at St Albans. In the end, I had to jump over another platform and leave from platform 4, and that would deal with the fast trains, but at least they stop at Luton. So I got to Luton and then ended up getting a bus, and a bus brought me here. But I just thought it was so stressful. And as we were sitting talking, we were talking about travelling, and she goes, Myrna, do you travel? And I said, I don't see the benefit of travelling. Why do you travel? Just to go to a different country, to see people. All they do is speak a different language, but they more or less eat the same food. When you go there, they were still on their phones, looking at the screens. They're not doing anything different than if you're in the UK. What do you see different? And then before you'd go there for the sun, but we've got sun here in the UK. Why put yourself through all that stress? Luggage to the airport, going through security, can't get nothing to eat. If you do get something to eat, it's expensive. Then these long queues. Why? Why do people really travel? Okay, people say, oh, it's to see a different lifestyle, but a lot of the lifestyle, they're uniform. You go to Thailand, they might have some beautiful buildings, but the people are still the same, just speaking a different language. You can get Thai food in the UK. So I was thinking to myself, the only place I'd really like to go one more time is America, because I had sisters there, but now my sisters are scattered. I've only got one in New York, one in California, one in Florida. The rest of my family is in Jamaica. So why would I sit on a plane for 8 to 10 hours to go and see people I can see on FaceTime if I'm really desperate, to eat food I can eat here, and without the stress? Today I really came home thinking, I don't even want to leave my yard. I don't want to go anywhere. I'm just so comfortable at home. It's cool. There's no stress. You step out there and it's stress. Honestly, I've never had such a horrible journey. And it should be so straightforward. But I don't know whether it's because people don't want to work. I don't know whether it's because, the train stations, I just don't get it. I get 1 cancellation, but 4 cancellations. And people need to go where they need to go. And they make sure it's not during rush hour when people have to go to work. So as far as they're concerned, you've got all the time in the world. This is my hypothesis. You've got all the time in the world. It doesn't matter if no trains don't turn up. You're not working, obviously. Nobody thinks about people anymore. What about that lady who was waiting for me? Fortunately, I left early. So by the time I went round the houses, she only had to wait 10 minutes. But the journey was such that I nearly changed my mind and said, look, I am not going anywhere. I'm going back home. And she would have been so disappointed. She wasn't looking at her phone anyway. She didn't look at her phone until I got home. So goodness knows when she would have realised I wasn't coming. So I'm glad I made the effort. And it was nice to see her. But I could have just as well FaceTimed her and caught up. She was telling me about our old school and our old teachers. I don't remember anyone. How can you remember teachers from 50 years ago. She remembered all the teachers' names.